Hello everyone and welcome to your favorite channel, Things to Do, and today we'll be talking about 10 things to do in Australia. Before I start the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to remain updated. I hope you enjoy the video and let's get started. Here are 10 things you shouldn't miss on your trip to Australia. 10th on the list is the Museum and Art Gallery of the Northern Territory, or MAGNT, which is the main museum in the Northern Territory. The museum is in Fannie Bay, which is a neighborhood in Darwin. The MAGNT is run by the Board of the Museum and Art Gallery of the Northern Territory, which is supported by the Museum and Art Gallery of the Northern Territory Foundation. Every year, the MAGNT has both exhibitions made by its own staff and traveling exhibitions from all over Australia. It is also where the Telstra National Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Art Award is held every year. This is Australia's oldest collection of awards for Indigenous Australian artists. The Territory's art collection has more than 30,000 pieces of art and other cultural items. The body of Sweetheart, a crocodile who liked to attack boats, is one of the most well-known displays. Go to Mount Wellington, a mountain in Tasmania, Australia. This is number 9 on our list. It's the highest point of the Wellington Range and it's in the Wellington Park Reserve. The capital of Tasmania, Hobart, is at the base of the mountain. The mountain rises 1,271 meters or 4,170 feet above sea level and is often covered in snow, even in the summer. The lower slopes are heavily wooded, but there are several walking trails and a few fire trails that go through them. The peak is about 22 kilometers or 14 miles from Hobart's main business district and is reached by a narrow paved road. From a lookout near the peak, you can see the city below and to the east the Darwin Estuary and the World Heritage Area, which is about 100 kilometers or 62 miles to the west. The Organ Pipes Cliff of Dolerite columns is what makes Mount Wellington stand out from Hobart. At number 8, go to Kings Park, a 399.9 hectare or 988 acre park that looks out over Perth Water and the centre of business in Perth, Western Australia. On Mount Eliza, the park has grassy parkland, botanical gardens, and natural bushland. About 2/3 of the grounds are kept as native bushland. It is home to more than 324 kinds of native plants, 215 known kinds of native fungi, and 80 kinds of birds. It also has beautiful views of the Swan River and the Darling Range. Number 7 is one of the most visited places in Western Australia, with more than 5 million people going there every year. Kings Park is home to the State War Memorial, the Royal Kings Park Tennis Club, and a reservoir, among other things. The streets are lined with plaques that were made by family members of Western Australian service members who died in World Wars I and II. The park is also full of native and introduced plants, and the Kings Park Festival, which takes place every September, is Australia's biggest wildflower festival and expo. The park is an unorganized area that is not part of any local government. The Botanical Gardens and Parks Authority, which is a part of the state government, is in charge of running it. At number 6 is the Mile Beach in Port Douglas, and it's one of the most popular and well-known beaches in tropical North Queensland. Ride your bike to the beach, rent a sun lounge, and spend the day relaxing under an umbrella or swimming in the calm water. Only swim in the area near the northern end of the beach where lifeguards watch. There's also a trailhead to Flagstaff Hill and several cafes and eateries within walking distance. 4 Mile Beach is also the site of many public events such as the Port Douglas Carnival, athletic and triathlon events, mountain bike and running festivals, and more. There are no places to stay in Port Douglas that are far from 4 Mile Beach, but there are many views of the ocean and direct access to the beach. At number 5 is the Australian Memorial for War, which is the national memorial for Australia to members of the supporting organizations and its armed forces who died or were involved in wars and some conflicts involving from the Australian-made colonies personnel before the Federation. The memorial was opened for the first time in 1941. At number 4, go to the Adelaide Central Market, which is a well-known market for fresh food in Adelaide, South Australia, Australia. Adelaide Central Market is one of the oldest markets in Australia. It has a wide range of fresh food, including fruits and vegetables, meat and poultry, fish, cheeses, baked goods, small products, and health foods. It also has a number of cafes and diners. About 1 million kilograms of fresh food are brought to the market and sold every month. It is a popular place for tourists to visit in the city. Each year, more than 8.5 million people go there. It is also called the Central Market. At number 3, you should go to Cairns, which is a city in Queensland, Australia, on the tropical northeast coast of far north Queensland. In June 2019, there were 153,952 people living there. In the 5 years before that, the population grew at a rate of 1.02% per year. The city is the 5th most populous in Queensland and the 15th most populous in all of Australia. The Great Barrier Reef, the Queensland Wet Tropics, and the Atherton Tableland are all close to the city. People often take cruises from Cairns to the Great Barrier Reef, so Cairns is called the gateway to the reef. The Cairns Esplanade has a lagoon for swimming and places to grill. In May 2003, Cairns Mayor Kevin Byrne said that people can sunbathe without a shirt on. The second thing to do is go to the Royal Botanic Gardens in Victoria. Botanic Gardens are in 2 places, Melbourne and Cranbourne. It was first opened to the public in 1989 as a place that was mostly natural and was important for protecting biodiversity. The 363-hectare or 897-acre park has native bushland, heathlands, marshes, and forests that people can visit. Cranbourne has a lot to offer. One of them is the Australian Garden, which shows off Australian landscapes and plants by displaying about 170,000 plants from 1,700 plant species. The work was done in 2012. The State Botanical Collection is kept at the Royal Botanic Garden, Victoria's National Herbarium. The collection of 1.5 million preserved plants, algae, and fungi make it the largest herbarium in Australia and Oceania. The number 1 spot goes to the Sydney Opera House, which is a performing arts centre with many venues in Sydney. The building has several performance halls where more than 1,500 shows are put on every year. More than 1.2 million people go to see these shows. There are a lot of performances, including ones by Opera Australia, the Sydney Theatre Company, and the Sydney Symphony Orchestra, which are all resident companies. As one of Australia's most popular tourist spots, more than 8 million people visit the site every year, and about 350,000 people take a guided tour of the building. The structure is run by the Sydney Opera House Trust, which is part of the New South Wales state government. The Sydney Opera House was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site on June 28, 2007. In the New 7 Wonders campaign, the Sydney Opera House was also one of the 7 finalists. That's all for today, guys. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to mention your comments below. Thank you for watching and see you next time.